Hey friend, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, insert Gose pun here. Margarita Melon Heads is a 4.5% Gose from Watermark Brewing Company in Stevensville, Michigan. First time brewery here on the channel, Watermark Brewing. Now this isn't the first time I've heard about Watermark. I've seen them at, Summer Beer Fest, Winter Beer Fest here and there. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time I'm going to be trying one of their beers outside of a fest. And just to give you all an exclusive heads up, these next few videos that will be coming out will be a little bit more West Michigan heavy. So all you West Siders, keep your eye open. I made a stop in West Michigan, picked up a lot of stuff I can't get on the East Side here. So I'm going to start bringing that stuff to you. So enough about that. Let's take a look at this label, and then we'll get to trying out the Gose. And just to mention, this beer was a little bit on the pricier side. I got a single. It was $4.39. $4.39. That was one of the higher priced beers that I picked up that day. So enough about all that. Let's take a look at the label and then we'll get into the beer. The label is this it's really cool. It's a metallic kind of green and purple, green fading into purple. It has this kind of mutated guy here holding like a radioactive kind of cylinder, and he's got his brain kind of sticking out of his head. He's got a little bit of slack jaw going on there. It says Margarita Melon Heads, Gose with lime and sea salt, 4.5% ABV, and on the side here it has Watermark's logo or their mascot, which is a guy in an old school like diving suit with a diving helmet. It says Beer Vibes Recycle, all that good stuff. Brewed and canned by Watermark Brewing in Stevensville, Michigan. It's got a lot of these radioactive symbols on it as well. I'm going to go ahead and pour this into this kind of wine style glass that I got from Ascension Brewing in Novi. So we're going to go ahead and crack this. There is a date. This was canned. I'm cracking it today. It was canned on 7/17/18, and the little title underneath it says Husky Boys. And yeah, so 7/17 was just at the time of this recording. Whoa, was a little bit more than about maybe 6 weeks ago. It is the Sunday the 2nd, August 2nd, and just recording this, letting you know that it's the 2nd. This might not be out around the 2nd, but I'm trying to build a little bit of a buffer so that in case something comes up where I can't make a lot of videos, we always have a constant stream for you guys. So let's give it a smell. I didn't even put my nose up to it. I could smell the kind of Gose, that salty kind of Gose scent. It's always very salty. It's got this kind of saline kind of scent to it, almost like a sea water, like a ocean water kind of scent to it. Let's go ahead and pour it. You can smell the salt for sure, the saline in there. It's coming very light out of the can here. Really almost like a white coming out of the can, like a yellowish white, very light. It's very carbonated, but the head kind of dissipated very quickly, and a lot of carbonation coming up. I mean, I can tell you right off the bat, this is not a clear beer. It's very opaque. I can barely see any kind of shadow. I'm going to start bringing a light so I can shine it through to show you guys. Actually, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a light and I'll show you guys. All right, so this is a little light. I'm going to start showing this through the glass to you guys because sometimes, I'm holding it up to my lights here in my little makeshift studio and I can see everything perfectly fine, but you guys can't see it. So just to give you, this is on the lowest brightness. So that is, yeah, I don't even see on my monitor here any difference between this and that. And this is a pretty bright light. So if I actually even bump this up even more, that's holding it right up to that. So it's fairly yellow. It's a little on the lighter side. It's actually kind of almost white, which I thought was really kind of weird, but that's enough of that. We'll turn that off for now. And then we're going to give it a smell here. But yeah, it's very light. A lot of carbonation streaming up. I get just that kind of Gose scent. It has a little bit of maybe a tiny bit of a lime kind of scent, but that Gose scent's like a sea salt kind of salt water kind of scent. So go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and dive in here. Cheers. Lots of carbonation up front on my tongue. I get I do get lime up front. It's salty, very salty, a little bit on the sour side, but it's more salty. like most Goses, it has that kind of saltiness, that sweetness up front of the fruit, and then you get that the saltiness, the little bit of a sour, a little bit of a bitter. This one, I think with lime, to me, I equate lime with just being sour in general. You know, like that's the generic salty, or I'm sorry, the generic sour flavor. So when this is a Lime Gose, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's not going to be really heavily fruited, and this isn't. It's really, I mean, the lime part is really all the fruit that there is in there. There's no like backbone sweetness, or it's not like a kettle sour where sometimes you can get really sweet flavors like some of the homes. I want to say guava, the guava sherbet, for example, is one that's like really sweet. It's got a really nice sweetness to it. This, because it's lime, lime's the flavor that they're going for. It's not really super sweet. There is this lime quality to it. Obviously, it's really refreshing. I could imagine on a hot day this being a really good beer to have. The thing that kind of throws me is that this is called Margarita. I mean, I guess it's Margarita. Margaritas are more lime flavored, but it's melon heads. I don't really understand where the melon head part comes from, but I can definitely taste the lime. It is definitely very close to what you would expect out of a margarita, just without that tequila kick. So all in all, for really refreshing beer, low ABV, what I say, 4.5%. Yeah, 4.5%. This really hits the spot. It's nice and refreshing. I know the summer is winding down, but it's still really hot out. You know, and some days it kind of seems like it spikes up. This would be a really good, you know, lawnmower beer, just kind of sitting out on your deck or on your patio, or maybe on your balcony if you're in an apartment or something like that, and just kind of sitting back and kicking back and down a few of these. And you know, it's not high ABV, so you should be able to drink a few of them and not have too much of a problem. And it's super refreshing. I know that sometimes with beers, Goses especially, that are too sweet, you can't drink too many of them, but this isn't sweet. It's not super sweet. It has a little bit of that sweetness, but it's a good kind of a good refresher. So I don't think you can go wrong if you're looking for a refreshing kind of beer on a hot day. Margarita Melon Heads by Watermark would definitely hit the spot. All right, friends, that has been Margarita Melon Heads from Watermark. If you head into Watermark, let them know you saw their beer on this channel here. Now, I know summer's winding down and we're moving into fall, so what are some of your favorite go-to fall styles? Do you like to hit the stouts and the porters now? Are you still enjoying IPAs, or do you like to spend the next couple months with a good Marzen or an Oktoberfest? Let me know in the comments down below, and while you're down there, you can find links to my social media, some merch, custom Tiku glass, links to all the gear that I use on these videos, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.